All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. It is May 7th. It is Fed Day. Hope everyone's feeling all right. My name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 6:30 Club. Oh, hopefully everyone's feeling well. At this point, got a lot of different types of moves happen on Fed Day. Sometimes you've got 6, 7 different moves. Uh, Sometimes you get the opposite the day after. Now you have news flow. You have a lot of things happening besides some earnings as well. So, with that being said, yesterday some news came out that that Percent will be meeting with the Chinese officials on Saturday, and kind of got the futures a little excited. We're up 50 handles. I tried to calm everyone down. I'm like, guys, a deal isn't done with China. They're going to meet with them this weekend, and then who knows what happens there. I'm like, just don't get ahead of yourselves and start buying this market up 50 handles. So anyway, it's up like 30. So we'll see how it goes. Spies right here are up 3 at 561.84. Yesterday's high is 563. We've pulled in from 568 to 556-ish or 557-ish, which actually is kind of healthy. If you think about it, the oscillator was plus 80. Now we're plus 40. Plus 40 was still overbought, but not crazy overbought like we were after a move from the higher low all the way up to 568. That was a big move. So, we've had some things to do. We've had some decent earnings where, our go-to list has been shifting around a little bit. Some names are acting better than others. So we're just trying to navigate the tape. The Qs, if you look at it also, hit a high of 490 and then came into the 8-day-ish around 478. What are the Qs doing? The Qs are up 259, a little back down to earth also, which makes sense. You have 484. This is 485. So we'll see what happens prior to to the Fed. Most think the Fed will do nothing. Just the question is, what kind of language are they going to have? Probably be data dependent, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, so we'll see how that goes. XBI yesterday, holy cow! Thank God. We put a little bit of a sell on this. You had a move in the XBI from the red dog reversal low and a reclaim 68.75, higher low, topping tail into resistance. Former support turns into resistance at a downtrend. That is why we get prepared with levels. And holy cow! Anyway, got to take trades in this market. Got to be careful in this market. There's a lot going on. So I tried to give you guys a little bit of my order of what I think looks better than others. And after earnings last week, I told you guys I think Microsoft is interesting. Microsoft has been buyable, right? Microsoft hasn't done anything for almost a year and a half now, and you have a bit of a bull flag being built. Some guys, depending on how active they are, have a swing trade long on. A swing trade long would be verse 424. Actively, it's building a nice little bull flag. Just the question is, can it hold and go? You get these fast moves, and then all of a sudden, when it looks like it's consolidating, you're looking for an additional move, and that move just doesn't happen. So it'd be nice to see if Microsoft could hold up here and continue. That stock has looked better. Google is looking better. That's Google. I've been in since earnings also. You had this red dog reversal after they sold the strength of earnings. This was your good entry, and then now it's trying to get tighter. It's trying to build a nice upper bull flag to continue to the upside. It's going to have to get above 166.10 for that. Well, lately, these are the type of trades that are hard to come by. You get these fast moves, and then you get a few moves, and then when you get this pattern that gets together, it all of a sudden makes it harder. We didn't take Palantir or Dash into earnings, and now we'll see what happens there. Let's go Palantir first. Palantir has a huge hole in the chart now. Huge. Here, remember this gap up, it led to a nice directional move to the upside. Even this one, this was this was, I guess, one of the other earnings reports. But anyway, this time now you have a hole to the downside. Is it going to hold 105, build a little bit and fill that, or is it going to continue to the downside? That's going to be big for risk. What's Palantir doing today? It's down 36 cents. Not the Palantir of old. Pre-earnings, if the futures or the SPYs are up $3, this would be up $4. So at this point, most people are talking about 100 times earnings and this and that, so you want to be careful. Do we hang out in here and take out 105? That would bring some risk down. Dash also needs some time. Dash had a huge move. Missed a little bit on revenues, not crazy, but after a huge move, into almost near the highs of the year, it's allowed to correct a little bit. So anyway, this is 185 and a quarter. This is 195. Does it hang here and fill this gap, or does it hang here and head lower? I'm not so sure. I bought a little bit of options, out a few weeks just in case. Amazon, not doing a whole hell of a lot. It's been pretty much lethargic since numbers. I kind of think NVIDIA is interesting. NVIDIA is trying to become a little relevant again, besides just like a range trade, but it's still just a range trade actually. It's trying to hold this 112. It reclaimed this 112.66. It's got a little bit of a pocket pivot here. In order for this thing to get a little special or a little different. By the way, look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's done absolutely nothing for a long time now. It was higher June of 2024, over a year ago. It was higher. Anyway, with that being said, it's still something that gives clues to what the tape is doing. I am long some options, thinking that, hey, if NVIDIA wants to become pretty relevant again, it's got to get above 115.40. And then you have some move. Then you still have a lot of moving averages and whatnot, so it's still not easy. Anyway, AMD's up a little bit. I thought it was interesting that what's it called? Amazon actually bought a little bit of AMD. But anyway, and then you have some of the one-offs. So some people are like, hey, Red Dog, why are you in this WRD? This was brought to me from a few of my Alpha member teams. If you are doing a trial with the Alpha team this week, it's good to have you. Look at that candle. That's a beautiful candle. And you want to see volume? Look at this volume. Okay, just showing that people are like, well, where's the volume? Well, if you want to go to the daily chart here, let's go W. Look at the size of that volume yesterday. Look at the size of it. So anyway, this tells me that this could go higher. Last time it had a move to the 30s. I would think that this thing could see, 1170 or more. Good play. I'm happy that a lot of the guys on the Alpha team, the new guys were in the room, and we were buying it, 2 days ago actually here, and it looks like it could be on its way, but you got to trim and trail this. WRD was a new issue or whatever it was. Anyway, interesting. So I do get the one-offs also. ASTS, which is not really a one-off, is not really trading great, but it's got this huge range. It did a red dog reversal yesterday. I am still long, and I am in some options. I do have friends that have accumulated massive size of this thing, and they think it's going to be 55 at some point this year, but we'll see. So you have your mega cap names, you have your semis, you have some one-offs, you have some news filtered trades. So you still have a lot of things to keep yourself busy. I am still in IBIT. It held where it had to. I said it's got to hold 52.76. It did. Kind of had a nice little engulfing move yesterday, so I am in there. We'll see what happens. I'm not in I'll probably be trimming some. I'm not going to be adding to it. Some guys are like, rebuying Mr. hit 398. That was one target. Still riding this rising channel. It still looks really good. I would say out of all of the names, if you want to be in IBIT, Bitcoin, and Mr., you don't want to be in the Riot and the Maras and those guys. Some of the nuclear names did wake up. I did buy some Oklo. If you remember, we played it during this huge move. It was fantastic. Actually, I started trading Oklo here at 1260. That was a huge winner for me. But anyway, did wake up. It's down a little bit. I might buy some more. I'm not sure. 28.96. If it were to get above 28.96, potentially it could continue. Right? Day one could lead to day two. What does it have to do? It's got to hang in there and go green. We shall see. Trump said he's going to expedite nuclear. But anyway, that's Oklo. I'm also in SMR. It's got a nice little wedge here. Played this also really well until it broke trend. So some of these things are trying to wake up a little, but we'll see. Let me see what my dogs are saying. Sometimes I get some good ideas from the 630 Club. Let's see what everybody's saying. Palantir flattened out last night. Don't trust it. I agree. Needs time. Good morning from Italy. What up? IBIT ready? I think it needs a little bit more time. Yes, WRD has news with Uber. That's what started to get it going. If AMC accepts offer I presented last night for 6-7 board seats, and the right, So you're talking someone saying AMC. That's been horrible. GEV's been good. HIMS, wow, HIMS yesterday. A lot of guys crushed it. What do I mean by that? Well, look at HIMS, what it did. Look at that reversal yesterday. Holy cow. I didn't trade it, but I did say it's got to hold right around here to be any good. Look at that. It held the 8th day and took off. My goodness gracious. That's pretty freaking fantastic. Guys are talking about it on the spaces also. I'm not there. I do have some TTD for earnings. Stock's been annihilated. I started buying it down here. I would think it's got some room to 60-ish, perhaps. Looks pretty good, not fantastic. What else we got? ASTS has May 12th earnings and outlook. Yeah, it's not really an earnings play, but that could be cool. GEV, you want to see that again? All right, here's GEV. GEV looks good. Nice bull flag above the 8th day, holding in there. Some guys ask me sometimes, like, who do I trust on for news on Twitter? I actually like Wall Street. I like this guy. If you guys sometimes let's see, search where's Wall Street Engine. Here's Wall Street Engine. I think he's a good follow. Comes out with news. Z leaves Beijing state visit to Russia. So yeah, you guys were saying yesterday's news with WRD. That was here. You guys want to see what that was? Uber. Where is it? When? Carney. NVIDIA. Oakland. Here's the White House reportedly planning executive action soon to try speed nuclear reactors. Uber teams up with Family Dollar. Uber's making some deals. Where is that? Keep it a little bit more. Where is it? But anyway, this guy's really good with, just news and whatnot. I probably could just search it. That was the catalyst. Here's some guys are talking about bull, also BULL. Let's see. Give it one more second here. It's good for early morning news too. Anyway, almost there. By the way, CLH was downgraded today. Also, Tesla held 272 by a thread. Meta's been trying to hang around. Look at that guy's hair. Anyway, where is it? There was HIMS. I'll give you 10 more seconds here. 10, 9, 8. Here it is. WeRide and Uber expanding their autonomous driving partnership to 15 more cities over the next 5 years, building on launches in Abu Dhabi, Dubai. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, let's go back to TrendSpider. TrendSpider is a good charting software. Right, so that's TTD. Apple's up a little bit. It came in after earnings. I wouldn't be chasing Apple. Yesterday, Apple gave you a little decent move from red to green. Apple's up $1.96. Apple likes to go up when this could be a China deal because they do a lot of the manufacturing there. It's kind of broken. Not that interesting. I wish it was more interesting for you guys. Let's see, 200. Yeah. What does it have room to? It could see 202 if it wants to. My proposal is to turn AMC into a Disney-like destination. AMC, let's see. I will say, look at the weekly chart. I don't remember the last time I went to a movie, I saw Top Gun 2, but this has been absolutely annihilated. For all the reverse splits and all this kind of stuff, it should have just went bankrupt. It lost people so much money. Anyway, QBTS, what's it doing? QBTS, still building. It's probably up a little bit with everything else, with the other quantum names. Let's see. It's up 11 cents. Not that interesting. Tesla, Apple. Tesla's hanging by a thread. I'm not in Tesla this morning, but I guess there's a little optimism that it held the lower end of this little pocket pivot, 272. It's got some room to 284, but it's going to need like tremendous volume and really needs to show me something. I showed you in the video before. NVIDIA has a decent little bull flag. I guess you could kind of draw a little bit of a line here. It's really got to get above 115.40 to get much better, but we'll see. All right, guys, I appreciate you. It's 6:46, May 7th. I have about 40 charts I got to do. It's going to be a busy day. It's Fed day. Lots of different moves, lots going on. Be careful. Usually you don't get some kind of trend move until like 3:20 in the afternoon. You get a lot of back and forth. I think he is doing a presser at 2:30, so listen up. I don't think he's supposed to do anything as far as rates, but we'll see how dovish he sounds. We'll see how much he talks smack about Trump, because I don't think he likes Trump. But anyway, have a good day, guys. I appreciate you. You should come check out the virtual trading floor. A lot of new guys on it checking it out for the week to see how we prepare the day. Every day up 4:45, doing my 20 to 5:20 with a few hundred people, doing a nice workout. Had a nice sweat today to playlist number 2. Then I go on my ice barrel. Then I get here. We do 6:30 club, and then I get my charts going. I focus, and I do manage some of my positions from overnight, and then get on the radio, do a morning call around 8 and change, and then I'm trading most of the day. It's about 11:30, and then I take a little break. You're gonna subscribe on my main stream when I get access to it? All right, cool. All right, appreciate you guys. USO, real quickly, USO is I did a little topping tail into the 8 day. I did buy some USO calls. That was good yesterday. What's it doing today? Up 35 cents ish. Not so bad. It was a good option trade. We bought it for like $1, sold it for 2 and change. That was a nice surprise. And lastly, what WRD? I would think here. Why can't this get to 11,676? A deal with Uber, huge volume. Went to 44 the last time this all happened, and I think they're coming out with more deals. So anyway, that's just a little bit. Been following you from day one. Love it. What do they say about day one? Not one day. Day one start. What else did you guys want to ask me real quickly? Baba and JD. Baba got to my resistance area. I'm not in it right now. I'm still in some leftover JD. I was thinking that it can continue the upside, but China's not responding so well to the meeting on Saturday, so that's why I'm a little skeptical about this big gap up. So be careful. Right now, SPYs are at 562 and change. I'd say 563 is an area that could be trouble in the first part of the morning, but we'll see.